Hey YouTube, Zizaran here. Lately a lot of you have seen me playing Vaal, seen how powerful it is, and seen me play different versions of the build as well. And I've had a lot of requests for a build guide, video guide, and I finally got and made one. And some of you have also seen my rip video. I'll show you how scary the Chateau boss is.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
That's the most ironic thing that could have ever happened. Not exactly what I'd planned, but shit happens. Suck it up, move on to the next character. It does have a very nice multi-layer defense with you get the Taste of Hate endgame, and you get a Basil potion, and you have the option for using Granite or a lot of other potions. You have like the third potion you can choose quite a lot from. I'm now going to go over some of the gear and explain why it's good. Now, one of the core items of the build is a Voltaxic Rift, which converts all your lightning damage into chaos. However, you don't need to pick up this instantly if you have some sacrificial harvests. Now what these do is they gain additional souls for your Valspark while you're using your Valspark or any skill in general. So it's easier to maintain and keep up your Valspark all the time. Which is why I use this especially for bosses. You really want your Valspark for bosses. If you have two sacrificial harvests, so you can use a Quill Rain and a Drill Nick, and you can Valspark around Drill Nick very easily. I did that and got a lot of XP per hour, like 300 to 350 mil. Especially using a Tabula, which is very good for this build. You generate frenzy charges by using a Victorious Acuity endgame, but the other options are also Blood Dance, more of a budget option, or like the cheapest option would be running Blood Rage with a Stone Golem. You'll have 0 degen pretty much, because the Stone Golem is very good. Another really good item you want to pick up is Winds of Change. Increases your projectile speed and projectile damage. Very, very good. Not too expensive as well. And yeah, like projectile speed is what you want really on this build. That's also the other reason for Victorious Acuity, which increases your projectile speed per frenzy charge. You do struggle quite a bit on int gear, especially early on the build. So I usually pick up a ring with 30 to 40 int. Try to pick up one jewel with like 15 or 12 int. Helps a lot as well. Once you like progress from your chest, like you can use Tabula quite a lot in endgame, but you really do want to move on to something like either a 6-linked lightning coil would be the ideal. Obviously that's super expensive. I chose to move on to a 6-linked rare evasion energy shield pace that I bought for 2 exalts. It's quite manageable and it works. Like I've been doing tier 14, tier 15 maps with that. I try to pick up Chaos Rest and High Life on that. Movement speed boost, very important, part of the core build. You want 30% movement speed boosts, and if you can, you want to get the 4 or 0.5 mana and life leech enchant when you've killed something on the boots. That lets you drop the mana potion. If you don't have that, you're actually going to need a mana potion for the build. And on the note of flasks, you really want a flask belt, which is quite important for the build. It like either reduces the charges that you use when you push a potion, or it increases the amount of charges you gain. That's extremely good for like the setup you want to run. I generally run a life potion with a freeze, a Basil with movement speed, a Granite with percentage armor, a Taste of Hate, and a Quicksilver with movement speed on it. Then another really important build gem is a Temporal Chains with quality on it. Now quality makes the temp chain actually a lot better than a normal temp chains. And what temp chains does is when say you're killing a hard boss and you temp chains it, all the time it stacks up poison stacks. They'll still be taking the same damage from poison, but it'll let the poison stacks build up a lot more. This is obviously super useful for this build. Now you've been able to see some of the killing in the background, and you've been able to see the build doing hard maps. Generally I've been purposefully rolling at least 2 damage mods on the map, and you know, not been doing just the open maps that you're used to seeing Valspark doing. I've been trying to do other things than just gorges and canyons, which is what Valspark used to be famous for. That's generally why you would run all the easy maps like Gorge, Canyon, Springs, which are still great maps for it. But now Valspark can do so much more because you have a more hybrid version of it. Because you have 2 6-links generally endgame, or you can use a 5-link and a Tabula as well. Like a 5-link Voltaxic takes this build very, very far. But the more currency you put into it, it just gets absolutely insane. I go as far as saying this is one of the best endgame builds for both survival and clearing. It can do any map mod. There is no map mod this build can't do. For example, if you get in a no regen map, that's fine. Anything. Min-max, you can do pretty much anything. It's as dangerous map mods as you want to go. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend doing triple damage mods. You saw how that went in Chateau for me. Now, about using the gems, say if you only have one 5-link and using a Tabitha, I would use the Valspark 6-linked for doing the Valspark maps. So good layout maps with open areas, I would be using the Valspark gems. And I'll go over the gems later in the leveling section as well. And then I'll be using a 5-link spark, which is enough to maintain your charges. But if you're doing a bad layout, like for example a shrine like we're in now, I would be using a 6-link spark instead and not have the 5-link spark, just mostly for boss killing. Thank you for watching my Valspark video. I'll be including a lot more information in the description as well, and I'm making a forum post where I'll have all the leveling information and the skill tree. I'll also have a Scion skill tree and a link to all the gear so you can see what all the skill gems I'm using are as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave any negative and positive feedback. If you're not familiar with me, I stream at twitch.tv/PCChild. Come check me out. And I'll see you guys there. Have a nice day, and thank you.